How does a triple net lease (NNN) work? Imagine renting a space where you pay not just the rent but also take on most of the property costs. That's what a triple net lease, often called NNN, is all about. It's a common setup in business law for commercial properties. In this kind of lease, the tenant agrees to cover three big expenses: property taxes, property insurance, and maintenance costs. These are called the nets because they are additional costs beyond the base rent. Under a triple net lease, the landlord hands over most of the ongoing financial responsibilities to the tenant. The tenant pays the property taxes directly to the local government, handles all insurance, including liability and casualty coverage, and takes care of repairs and upkeep. If there are shared spaces like hallways or parking lots, the tenant also pays for their maintenance, often called common area maintenance fees. The landlord's main job is to provide the space itself. Everything else, like expenses and upkeep, falls on the tenant. These leases usually last a long time, often 10 years or more. Because tenants pay for the extra costs, the base rent is usually lower than in other lease types. This makes NNN leases attractive to landlords who want steady income without managing the property day to day. For tenants, especially large businesses with multiple locations, NNN leases give more control over costs and allow them to customize their space to fit their needs. However, the responsibilities can vary. Some leases might say the tenant pays all operating costs, including utilities, while others limit what the tenant pays. It's very important for both sides to carefully read the lease to understand exactly what expenses they are responsible for. Clear language helps avoid disagreements later on. Many retail stores and single-tenant buildings use triple net leases because it simplifies management for landlords and gives tenants control over their expenses. Large retail chains prefer this setup because they can manage costs uniformly across their stores. Landlords like it too because it reduces their management duties and provides predictable income. From a legal point of view, a triple net lease shifts a lot of risk to the tenant. If property taxes go up or maintenance costs increase, the tenant bears those costs. Lease agreements usually include provisions about how expenses are calculated and adjusted over time. Sometimes tenants negotiate caps on certain expenses or protections against unexpected increases. Because tenants take on so much responsibility, these leases are best suited for financially stable, established businesses. Landlords often do background checks on tenants to ensure they can handle these costs. Tenants should also review the property's expense history before signing to make sure they understand what they are committing to. In summary, triple net leases are a popular way to lease commercial space. They benefit landlords with reliable income and less management work, while tenants gain control over their property costs and space. But success depends on clear agreements and understanding each party's responsibilities. Proper legal review and careful negotiation help make sure everyone knows what to expect and avoid surprises down the road.